Chapter 1. The invitation to the Alps begins as the sun commences its descent behind the grand Swiss Alps. Picture yourself aboard a twilight train, its gentle rhythm harmonizing with the serene landscape that unfolds beyond the glass windows. As the train carves its path through the verdant valleys, each turn brings a new panoramic vista of mountain peaks, still adorned with the last remnants of winter's snow, now glowing with the sun's golden kiss. The setting sun plays with colors on this canvas of nature, creating a breathtaking spectacle of light and shadow that dances across rugged cliffs and high meadows blooming with wildflowers. The crisp alpine air brushes through partially opened windows, mixing the sweet scent of pine with the comforting warmth inside the carriage. As the sky transitions from vibrant oranges to softer shades of lavender and dusky blue, the outside world transforms into a realm of twilight enchantment. The train, with its rhythmic clacking and soothing sways, invites a sense of calm and introspection. In this moving cocoon, away from the rush of everyday life, you are lulled into a state of peace, your eyes heavy with the mesmerizing beauty of the Alps. The narrative of the journey, soft and unhurried, promises not just a physical journey through the heart of Europe, but an inward voyage towards tranquility and soothing solitude. Look out once more, before the night throws its veil over the landscape, and let the last light of day etch the majestic alpine silhouettes deeply into your memory. As darkness settles in, the stars begin to pierce the sky, a reminder of the perpetual beauty that reigns here, above the world, serene and undisturbed. The chapter closes with you, the listener, drifting off into a dream-filled sleep, inspired by the alpine majesty and the tranquil ride through nature's masterpiece. Chapter 2. The first glimpse of snow. As the twilight train continues its journey deeper into the heart of the Swiss Alps, the landscape transforms with each passing minute. The train, like a gentle giant, curves along the narrow tracks, cradled by towering mountains whose peaks challenge the horizons. The sun, a celestial artist, dips lower in the sky, painting the clouds and the snowy summits with a palette of gold, amber, and deep crimson. Passengers, previously engaged in quiet conversation or lost in the pages of a book, find themselves drawn irresistibly to the windows. Faces reflect the awe-inspiring beauty as eyes meet the first full glimpse of snow. It's more than just frozen water. It's a symphony in white, a delicate dusting on rugged rocks, the purity contrasting sharply with the darkening sky. The serene sound of the train's movement creates a hypnotic background, a lullaby for the soul that travels through the carriage. It harmonizes wonderfully with the occasional sighs and soft exclamations from the passengers as they witness the enchanting spectacle. Alpine trees, like stoic sentinels, stand guard over this paradise, their needle-laden branches heavy with frost, creating silhouettes against the twilight. As the light fades, the temperature inside the carriage remains warm, but the sight of the snow brings an imaginary chill that makes scarves tighten and hands seek the warmth of a neighboring palm. The train tunnels briefly, and for a moment, there's a collective hush of anticipation. A breath held until once more, the train emerges into the fading light. The train's rhythmic sway and the breathtaking vistas collaborate to lull the travelers. Eyelids grow heavy as the outside world becomes a dreamy blur of twilight shadows and snowy highlights. Gently, very gently, the journey lulls even the most restless into a state of peace, their heads resting against window panes, the last sights they see being the majestic alpine beauty as sleep deep and restorative claims them. Here, in the embrace of the Alps, under a blanket of stars just starting to appear, dreams weave into reality, and every traveller finds a serene solace as the train whispers onwards through the night. Chapter 3: The Cozy Mountain Lodge. As the twilight deepens and the last rays of the sun retreat behind the Swiss Alps, our train continues its mystical journey towards an inevitable serenity. The landscape outside transforms into a canvas painted with shades of twilight, where the peaks of the mountains are silhouetted against a sky fading from orange to indigo. Each turn and twist of the train brings into view another breathtaking vista, inviting the soul to soar amidst the majesty of nature's grandeur. Let your gaze linger on the snowy blankets that cover the mighty Alps, reflecting the sun's last golden hues and the onset of a starry night. Feel the gentle rhythm of the train, melding with the quiet sounds of the evening, chirping crickets, the whispering wind, and the distant call of nocturnal animals beginning their nightly chorus. Inside the cozy warmth of the train, a sense of deep peace settles over the passengers. The soft murmur of conversations fades as many succumb to the lulling motion of the carriage, their eyelids heavy with the hypnotic tranquility that envelops them. Soon the train approaches the cozy mountain lodge, a haven nestled at the heart of the Alps. Anticipation whispers through the cabin as the lodge comes into view, its windows aglow with welcoming light, casting a golden outline in the dimming light outside. Imagine stepping off the train and feeling the crisp alpine air brush against your skin, the scent of pine and earth mingling to ground your senses. The lodge itself is a marvel of rustic charm, with its wooden facade adorned with intricate carvings that tell tales of the mountains. As you enter, a warm blast from the grand fireplace greets you, and the aroma of spiced apple cider fills the air, promising warmth and comfort after the journey. Here in this cozy retreat, the adventure pauses, allowing time to reflect, to connect with fellow travelers, and to prepare for the wonders yet to unfold. In this chapter of our journey, let the mountain's tranquil spirit and the lodge's heartfelt welcome envelop you in an embrace as soft as the twilight snow. In Chapter 4, Whispers of the Wind, our twilight train journey continues unhurriedly through the heart of the Swiss Alps. Picture the scene as the train, a gentle behemoth of steel and steam, carves its path between towering mountains. These guardians of stone and ice stand tall, their peaks like crowns bathed in the fading sunlight. The sun, descending towards the horizon, casts long shadows and paints the snow in hues of amber and gold, transforming the rugged landscape into a fleeting masterpiece of nature's design. As you gaze through the window, the whispering winds carry tales from the peaks to the valleys below. Each gust brings a chill that contrasts with the warmth of the sun's dying embers, telling of ancient times and secrets held by the land. The trees, pines and spruces mostly, sway gently in rhythm, their needles rustling like soft murmurs of old friends in deep conversation. Notice how the wildflowers tuck themselves in for the night, their vibrant colors dimming under twilight's spell, awaiting the moon's watchful gaze. Inside the train, the atmosphere is one of tranquil solitude. Passengers speak in hushed tones, if at all, as many are lulled into a serene slumber by the rhythmic chugging of the train coupling with the melodic wind. The plush seats and the gentle rocking motion invite you to close your eyes, just for a moment, and let your senses absorb this peaceful journey through nature's grand corridor. As the chapter closes, The train rounds a bend, offering one last spectacle, a view of an alpine lake, its surface smooth as glass, reflecting the twilight sky. It's here where the whispers of the wind seem to pause, holding their breath, as if to not disturb the majestic calm. And as night descends upon the Alps, the train continues its nocturnal voyage, leaving the day's enchantments behind, but carrying forward the promise of another dawn, in a symphony of unspoken reveries. In Chapter 5, Evening by the Hearth, our journey shifts from the expansive exterior to the intimate interior of the twilight train. As night begins to gently unfold over the Swiss Alps, passengers settle into the warm, inviting ambience of the train's cabin. Outside, the final rays of the sun tinge the snow-capped peaks with shades of gold and amber, a sight that quickly becomes a luminous memory as dusk deepens. Inside, the soft clatter and rhythmic humming of the train on its tracks provide a soothing soundtrack in harmony with the tranquil setting. The passengers, cozy and content, are seated comfortably, some with their eyes closed, others quietly conversing with a gentle murmur that adds to the melodic soundscape of the moving train. As the exterior world darkens, the warm glow of the hearth inside the train car becomes the heart of this nocturnal pilgrimage. The flickering light casts dancing shadows and bathes the car in an amber hue, creating a soft, mesmerizing glow. With each mile the train covers, the warmth of the hearth seems to draw passengers closer together, sharing this serene moment. The heart of the Alps is alive, even as it is enshrouded in the tranquility of night. Occasionally, wildlife can be glimpsed through the windows, pausing to watch the passing beacon of light that slices through the darkness. Each mountain pass and alpine forest that slips silently by under the moonlit sky is a reminder of the endless beauty hidden in the nocturnal folds of nature. As sleep begins to blanket the cabin, the train continues its journey, a steadfast guardian gliding through the night. The serenity within and the harmony of alpine beauty outside cultivate a meditative peace, lulling passengers into restful slumber, guided by dreams of the majestic landscapes they have traversed. And so, nestled by the hearth, they journey onwards, cradled by the comforting embrace of the mountainside train. As the twilight hour descends upon the secluded tracks of the Swiss Alps, Chapter 6, titled Midnight Starlight Walk, emerges as a captivating interlude in our serene journey. Imagine yourself aboard the late train, ensconced in the warmth of a cozy carriage that gently rocks in steady rhythm with the rails. The windows frame an ever-changing portrait of alpine majesty, as the last rays of the sun bathe the peaks in a breathtaking spectacle of golden hues, embellished further by the encroaching shadows of night. The outside world transforms under the cloak of dusk. Snow-capped mountains, previously brilliant under the sun's glare, now morph into soft, muted figures against the twilight sky. The delicate interplay of light and darkness crafts a scene of ethereal beauty that invites reflection and peace. As the train delves deeper into the heart of the Alps, the stars begin to pierce the darkening blue, each one a silvery note in a symphony of the night sky. The celestial show above is mirrored by occasional patches of snow on the ground, glistening like scattered diamonds. Amidst this tranquil panorama, the narrative of our journey encourages a quiet introspection, fostering a connection with the nature that envelops the passage. The sounds of the train, a rhythmic, steady chug along the tracks, accompanied by the soft whispers of wind against the window, blend into a lullaby that could soothe the most restless of spirits. This chapter, Midnight Starlight Walk, is not merely a passage of distance, but of light and inner calm. It symbolizes the walk we take within ourselves amid the vast, tranquil wilderness, guided by the starlight's eternal glow. Allow the hypnotic motion and the majestic solitude of the alpine night to lull you into a reflective tranquility, gently pulling you towards a sleep cradled by dreams of high peaks under starry skies. As Chapter 7 begins, mountain mist at dawn unfurls its ethereal canvas with the first light of dawn caressing the towering Swiss Alps. The train, a sleepy behemoth of iron and steam, continues its steady climb through the heart of this majestic landscape. Outside, the world is awash of delicate blues and soft greys, as night's shadows retreat and the day timidly advances. Here, the dawn is not a mere time, but a painter, its brushstrokes gentle and deliberate across the rugged peaks enveloped in a fine mist. The air is crisp, filled with the scent of damp earth and pine, invigorating yet soothing. Passengers, wrapped in the warm embrace of thick blankets, gaze out through the misted windows. Their breaths, visible in the cool air, add to the fog that the dawn has laid like a veil over the land. The sun, a shy spectator, occasionally peeks through the dense veil, its golden hues spilling over the snow-capped peaks, transforming them into gold-tipped monuments amidst swathes of emerald pines. As the train snakes along the narrow tracks laid out many years ago, the sound of its wheels against the rails becomes a hypnotic chant, a lullaby for the weary traveler. The gentle sway of the carriages, the rhythmic clanking, and the soothing murmur of fellow passengers meld into a symphony of tranquility, setting a hypnotic pace to the unfolding day. The beauty of the Alps in this tender morning light is unspeakably profound. Each mountain face tells a story of ancient times. Each cliff whispers of secrets long kept. In this early morning hour, the world here is sacred, untouched, and silent, save for the soft sound of the train carving its path through the landscape. As the mist begins to lift, revealing the clear, vast expanse of azure skies, it feels as if the earth itself wakes and stretches in the soft light of dawn. Mountain mist at dawn captures not just a journey through geographical wonders, but a passage through moments of stillness and awe, a pilgrimage of the soul amid the high heavens of the earth. In Chapter 8, Legends of the Alpine Forest, we journey on an evening train cutting silently through the Swiss Alps. As dusk settles over the ancient landscapes, the train moves smoothly, hugging the curves of the mountainside with the deftness of a seasoned traveler. The world outside the window transforms, offering an enchanted view of the alpine wilderness, bathed in the soft golden light of the setting sun. Here, the peaks stand as storied sentinels, their snow-capped summits glowing with an ethereal charm, reflecting the last kisses of sunlight. Each peak and valley, cloaked in legends woven through time, whispers tales of old, inviting the listener to a graceful dance of imagination and history. The weathered pines and lush underbrush of the forest peek intermittently through the fading light, their silhouettes painting a serene backdrop against the dusky sky. The air feels crisp and is thick with the pine-scented whispers of the forest creatures that begin their nocturnal symphony, complementing the rhythmic clatter of the train's wheels. As the twilight deepens, the listener is lulled into a state of tranquil reflection, nestled in the warmth of the train's gentle embrace. The scenery flows seamlessly, like a slow, hypnotic dream, where the realms of reality and fantasy tenderly blur. Here, in the hallowed quietude, the legends of the Alpine forest come alive. Tales of mythical creatures that roam the shadowy woods, of heroes whose spirits still guard the lofty ranges, and of whispered enchantments that the forest safeguards in its ancient heart. The chapter seduces the senses into a peaceful slumber, as the audience drifts into a sleep filled with dreams of alpine wonders, carrying with them the serene beauty and timeless mystique of the mountains long after the journey ends. Chapter 9. A Peaceful Life Above the Clouds begins as the twilight train gently starts its journey, embarking from the sleepy village nestled at the foot of the Swiss Alps. The rhythmic chugging of the train blends harmoniously with the quiet whispers of the evening wind, creating a tranquil symphony of sounds. As the train ascends, the world below starts to shrink away, leaving behind the concerns of the mundane as you ascend into a realm where peace reigns supreme. The last rays of the sun reach over the horizon, touching the peaks with a warm golden glow that contrasts sharply against the cool blue shadows creeping across the valleys. The mountains, coated in pristine snow, reflect the sun's farewell dance, turning from gold to pink and finally to a soft, mystical purple. Gazing out of the window, you watch as the alpine flora gently sways. Tiny wildflowers, resilient and colorful, dot the rugged landscape, adding splashes of reds, yellows, and purples to the predominantly white and green canvas. Here, above the worldly clamor, the air is fresher, filled with the crisp scent of pine and the subtle aroma of alpine herbs. Wildlife appears intermittently. A fleeting glimpse of a fox, here a mountain goat nimbly traversing steep cliffs there. Each creature perfectly adapted to its sublime lofty home. As the light dims, the train's gentle sway and the soft murmur of other passengers conversing in hushed tones pull you deeper into a state of relaxation. You find yourself drifting, lulled to sleep by the peaceful life above the clouds, where the stars begin to twinkle in the clear night sky, guardians of the high solitude. The chapter gracefully concludes as you surrender to a serene slumber, enveloped in the tranquility of the high Alps, under the watchful gaze of the cosmos. Indeed, life above the clouds moves at its own measured pace, offering solace to those who journey through its elevated haven. As the twilight train sets its course deeper into the heart of the Swiss Alps, Chapter 10, Twilight Dreams in Highland Serenity, begins to unfold. Picture this. The gentle clattering of the train harmonizes with the whispers of the cool alpine breeze. The landscape transforms as the sun descends, draping the sky in a tapestry of amber and mauve. Around you, the mountains stand sovereign, their snow-capped peaks catching the last kisses of the sun, glowing warmly against the creeping shadows. Look out the window. The setting sun plays a magnificent game of light and shadows upon the majestic mountains. Shadows lengthen, carving out the contours of the terrain with an artist's precision, while the peaks bask gloriously in the sun's golden glow. This enchanting vista shifts with every turn of the track, each angle offering a new, breathtaking perspective. The train, like a steadfast explorer, cuts through valleys and tunnels, each emerging view a splendid revelation of nature's grandeur. As the sky deepens into dusker shades, the mind wanders into a realm of serenity and calm. The air inside the train is soft and cool, filled with the scent of pine and fresh earth that seeps in through the cracks of open windows. The rhythmic rumbling of the train blends with the natural soundscape, creating a lullaby that lulls passengers into a tranquil slumber. The twilight dreams ushered in by this twilight train are not of the ordinary kind. They are dreams where reality blends with the magic of alpine scenery, and time seems to slow down, encapsulating the moment in eternal beauty. As the stars begin to dot the night sky, the journey through the highlands transforms into a nocturnal ballet, where flora and fauna of the alpine region partake in the nighttime symphony. As the chapter closes, the train continues tirelessly on its tracks, carrying the sleepy-eyed travelers deeper into the embrace of the Alps, promising more wonders with the dawn of a new day. Here, in the highlands' serenity, the dreams, like the mountains themselves, stand timeless and majestic.